This episode is titled Terror in the Sky. Came out on November 12th, 1992. Directed by Boyd Kirkland. Story by Steve Perry and Mark Saraceni. Saraceni? Written by Mark Saraceni. And animation by Dong Yang. Featuring Kevin Conroy as Batman Bruce Wayne. You're being such a dick right now for anyone that's not watching.
He said to me that I need to look at the camera during this bit because I always go on my phone. So now I'm really looking at the camera for this bit. Tell me more about the credits for this episode.
I will, weirdo. Featuring Kevin Conroy as Batman Bruce Wayne, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred, Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon. I prefer when you were looking down at your phone. Mark Singer as Dr. Kirk Langstrom, Meredith McRae as Dr. Francine Langstrom, Renee Auberginois as Dr. March.
Auberginois?
Auberginois.
Sounds like a French, eggplant dish. And tonight we give you the auberginois.
What is it? It's just aubergine with a French flag in it.
It's aubergine. Uncooked. Cut into tiny square. Cost $25.99.
And we've also got Pat Music, but it's music with a K at the end. I'm guessing it's music or music. Could be that too, I suppose.
Music.
Music as the flight attendant, and Peter Renaday as the second longshore man.
Peter Renaday.
So, okay, we got honorable mentions here. Dong Yang animated this episode, and they previously produced the episodes that we've reviewed, which were Joker's Favor, Nothing to Fear, Appointment in Crime Alley, Eternal Youth, Two-Face Part 2, I've Got Batman in My Basement, The Forgotten, See No Evil, The Cape and Cowl Conspiracy, Perchance to Dream, Night of the Ninja, Tiger, Robin's Reckoning Part 2, and The Laughing Fish. What do you think of the animation in this episode?
Very good. Yeah, I mean, just good animation. Vibe was excellent in this episode. The music was, so good, right?
It was
primo Batman. I was getting 89, the Tim Burton universe vibes from this music.
I felt like we went back to On Leather Wings. We had the music from that episode, but we also had new music for this Man-Bat as well, or Woman-Bat. And yeah, I think that Gotham in the winter with the snow and the wind just is awesome. That vibe was so good. And the animation was, it was up to the standard of this Dong Yang, which they always do a really good job. But there's one scene where Kirk and Batman are talking, and the camera literally, and Kirk's in the foreground, and the camera focuses on them as they're talking and blurs the other person.
We're both off the hook. But if it's not me, then let me worry about that.
And I'm like, you've got to actually animate that. You can't do that.
Maybe they had a cell, they had a cell on a separate layer where it was able to change the focus or something like that. No, there was a lot of other cool stuff, like the chase scene on the motorcycle.
Great
so
scene.
Well animated and super French Connection vibes there as well.
You're right. It did have that feel.
And it's just the way everyone's dressed and the feeling. I always sort of love the character design for Kirk Langstrom in this. I might look at it a lot for when I make my Detective Van Helsing, because I think he really suits the look of that vibe. In my Mobster Mash book, which is coming out October 1st, everybody go pick it up because it's going to cost a lot of money. Anyway, so it's everyone's designed really well. Everyone looks cool. That Bat motorcycle helmet, that's pure Dark Knight Returns Superman fighting suit, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
it's got that bull nose on the front, and it's just I loved it. It was a great episode, really good.
It was a good episode. I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed it actually more than I thought I was going to, because I love On Leather Wings so much that I've always been this is kind of the lamer sequel, but it was surprisingly better than I remember. This episode is also directed by Boyd Kirkland, and the story written by Steve Perry, not the guy from Journey. We've credited them previously in this podcast in Nothing to Fear and Night of the Ninja, respectively. Writer Mark Saraceni makes his DCAU debut, and this is the writer behind this one and only episode. His other credits include one episode of The Sopranos, which was in season 1 or something like that, Tiny Toon Adventures, Tiny Toon Adventures, Tasmania, SWAT Cats, Aladdin the Animated Series, and Two Stupid Dogs. Do you remember that show?
It sounds familiar. Two Stupid
Dogs. That was the what they would yell.
What do they look like?
Two Stupid Dogs. I can't remember. Snuff. Acting credits here. All returning voice actors have been credited previously on this podcast in their first appearance on this show, such as Meredith McRae and Mart Singer in On Leather Wings. So go back and listen to those episodes or that episode if you want to learn more about their careers. As far as new acting creds go for this episode, Pat Music, or Pat Musick, however you want to say it, who plays the flight attendant, will come back to play a few characters in the DCAU, one being Dr. Stella Bates, who's featured prominently in the episode Mudslide with Clayface, which we'll get to in a little while. She also played a lab
That's
tech.
the episode that plays in my bathroom every morning, baby.
Oh God! Bam, 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 bam. That's your bowels just pushing it out.
Get the bleach!
She also played a lab tech in On Leather Wings, so she was in the other Man-Bat episode briefly. She's also random characters in Superman, the animated series, Batman Beyond, and Static Shock to come. Her other credits include Tony Toponi in An American Tale. Remember that movie with Fievel?
Tony Toponi. It's socially acceptable to do the Italian accent, so I will do it until people say that is offensive. Tony Pepperoni, or whatever his name was.
A teacher in Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Fluffy in Duckman Private Dick, which I've never seen, but hilarious title. And then finally, Peter Renaday, who plays the second Longshoreman, which is such a tiny little part, has also played a doctor in Mask of the Phantasm, and will go on to play random characters in Superman the Animated Series, The New Batman Adventures, and Justice League. His other credits include Splinter in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so he is the voice of Splinter in that show, Richard Ames in Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty,
Cool.
and Grandmaster Tang Zhang in Samurai Jack, who I don't remember that
I will
character.
not be doing an impersonation of someone saying Tanzag in their natural dialect, because that isn't socially acceptable.
Genesis of Algencia.
Yeah, Genesis Emergencia.
A Latina from LA.
And New York.
No, maybe LA, I think. LA, pretty sure. I don't think that's the problem that she would get hung up on. It's the
She's Latina,
assuming,
yeah.
Yeah, it's assuming her gender.
And this is how we
wrong.
speak in the Latin.
Well, we assumed that Genesis, well, I assumed Genesis was male, and did you assume that the Man-Bat was male in this episode, even
No,
though
because
I
it
had
got spoiled for
it?
me 800 times by you.
To be fair, though, even if I didn't tell you, the moment the Man-Bat shows up in the park with Batman and they have the big chase sequence, it's Francine's pink
Yes,
pants
but that's a cool reveal.
What?
You think really that would have been like, oh, it's not. It's
No,
not.
I
him?
got it immediately by looking at the trousers. I'm like, oh, she's wearing clearly the bright
Yeah.
red trousers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
thought
that
it was
happens halfway through the. Well, it's reddish pink.
pink. Okay. fair.
Halfway through the episode that happens, but you don't know it before that. You don't know it with the opening scene, anything. Also, like core memory unlocked of Man-Bat eating those squishy fruits. Like I remember as a kid seeing that and being like, "That fruit looks pretty good."
Do you know what fruit that was?
Guava?
No, it's a question for the game later on, so I won't tell you.
Oh, they reveal what type of fruit it was?
yeah.
Mango.
Save that one. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll do our utility belt of fun facts now. This episode is based on a story from Detective Comics, Volume 1, number 429, titled Man-Bat Over Vegas by writer and artist Frank Robbins. And the last line is even a direct reference to one of the last lines in that story, which was, "Now Francine's vampire nightmare is about over." Francine's nightmare about vampires, though? I was like, how? Man-Bat vampires? I guess they're kind of similar, but when I hear vampire, I think of like, I want to suck your blood, not like a giant bat creature, right?
Well, vampire bat.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess. Weird.
Bat?
That'd be amazing if that's what you had to say if you wanted to turn into the Man-Bat in this show. Okay, this episode's working title was Bride of the Bat. That would have
Fun.
given it away.
Like Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, would have given it away though, right? You would
Yeah.
immediately be like, oh, it's her. Originally, the story for this episode was meant to be much darker. According to Bruce Timm, he said, Kirk and Francine were on the verge of divorce because of what he did as the Man-Bat in On Leather Wings. She couldn't live with him anymore. In the end, they were all in the Batcave, and she bites Kirk, injecting him with the mutagen. He becomes the Man-Bat again. The two end up fighting each other and fall into the abyss of the cave, killing each other. Sydney Iwanta, the show's liaison with Fox, turned down that version of the script, stating it was too dark and ugly for a cartoon. What do you think about that, where they would have had a fight in the Batcave as two giant Man-Bats and would have killed each other and fallen into the abyss of the cave?
No, don't like that.
You
I like
don't
the idea. I like the idea of them being like getting a divorce over his actions. Like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. But this ending is fine. He cured her, and then he steps onto his Batwing and flies off.
Kirk.
The nightmare's finally over.
And relieves them there. That's the thing. I was like,
Oh yeah, that's true.
I was like, Batman.
Can't you fly down? And oh right, he's like flying away at home. Like, oh fuck, I killed them.
He goes back there. They're frozen solid. Ooh.
Oh, Mr. Freeze is up to his old tricks again, I see. It's with Gordon, like, clearly this is Mr. Freeze that did this. How did he get them all the way up here? Freeze, you know. He's a super villain, so. We gotta go catch him. He's loose, right? He's in Arkham. Actually, he has an alibi. No, that's not. There's a copycat out there. Copycat killer. Dr. Freeze. Dr. Chill. It sounds like a knockoff Dr. Pepper that you get at the supermarket, but it's not. It's Dr. Chill.
Dr. Chill. I love that. He's just like, hey, cool cats. He just like comes in.
It's that guy. He did it.
Dr. Chill is like the name of like a therapist that everyone loves. Like, are you gonna go see Dr. Chill today? He's really good.
He's like, it's okay, Batman. We can like thaw them out. Like, it hasn't been 11 minutes yet. They're not dead yet. He's like, all right, I'll go. Oh. It's like, no, I think they're dead. They're definitely dead. It's thawed out. Like, who did this? Man-Bat. Oh, it's the Man-Bat. Look, it's right over there. And everyone looks. The Batman kicks them off the side. Oh no, they slipped.
It was Mr. Freeze.
It was Dr. Chill. He was just here. And he was like, all right, everybody, chill. Which, you know, it's a good line. I'm going to jail, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yes, Bruce, you are. Oh, you know. We all know.
Also, a fun fact here. Francine demonstrates several new attributes that indicate the increased potency of March's new serum, including echolocation, and unlike Kirk, no memory of having been transformed into the Man-Bat. What did you think of being able to go inside the eyes of the Man-Bat in this episode and seeing, you know, through the eyes of
the Predator vision?
It was Predator, right? Like, yeah, with some echolocation added to it. I thought that was cool. It even, my favorite moment, or my love that Batman moment, is when Batman's standing on the Batwing and you see through her eyes the echolocation. He's just standing there looking like a fucking boss, and it's like, dun, 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 dun. I was like, oh yeah, I love that Batman. That's really
pretty cool.
And there's a runner-up for my love that Batman moment too, is when he sneaks into the lab and he's in shadow and he's, I think he says like hell you will, or something with hell. I can't remember what he says, but he's got snow on his shoulders and he looks so cool in that scene. I love that.
I'm fucking freezing. I've been standing in the dark for ages, and I took so long to get into the office. Christ, I thought you were going to be here like 3 hours ago. I'm cold. Dr. Chill is on the loose. He's out there.
You should see the size of my utility belt. It's very small right now. It's very cold outside.
Shrinks in the cold. I swear.
Then in universe, Terror in the Sky was also the title of an episode in the Grey Ghost TV show. When the Grey Ghost is showing him the episodes, that was the title of one of them. And in several scenes when the Man-Bat attacks the musical score, borrows cues from Modest Mussorgsky's Night on Bald Mountain, best known for its use in Fantasia when the giant Batwing demon known as Chernobog appears.
That's a very cool deep cut reference.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too. So, what did you think of this episode overall then?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, it was just like I said, the vibe was really good. The backgrounds were so well drawn. The characters were really well drawn as well. There was a lot of like drama, but it wasn't like oh Jesus Christ, like in the wolf man wolf or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Island of Dr. Moreau one where it was just like
okay. Well, there's two of them. There's
yeah. No, the other one
Tiger
was a Coke fest, as we already discussed.
Moon of the Wolf. Yeah. Okay.
No, it was like it was dramatic, but it was good, and like I always like Batman when there's like a mystery in there, like a whodunit. It just works. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like Hush, Long Halloween. Like it's just like the most fun you can have. With he's a detective, so when you see him, like who's doing this shit? Same with like Court of Owls and everything like that. Like. A mystery. It's such a good part of Batman, and we need more of it. So I like the switch that it's his wife, and that's the father's fault, and like the plane at the end was really cool. The transformation is awesome as well. Like it was pretty horrifying. Like again, like I remember you always get as a kid were affected by the "It's in me" Batman from episode 1, but I think her transformation is equally as fucked up.
It doesn't beat the transformation in episode 1 for me. That just is so iconic with the line and then the music, the way that music builds in that episode when he's transforming. But when she's looking at her arm and she's like, oh, and it's moving around. Yeah, and her voice changes and it gets this like weird tone to it. I was like, oh yeah, that is terrifying.
Does that play into your I've turned into a monster fear that you have?
It's like I think it's called like transmorphia or something. There's like something that you're just afraid of transforming into, like something like that. It did. You know what the worst thing was for me is that it was happening in an aeroplane bathroom. I don't know why, but the fact that she's like up in the sky and she's in this tiny little space and there's like a place full of people and she can't escape. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like, oh, I'm transforming. I've got to run away and hide because I'm ashamed of, people seeing me. It's like,
I'm ashamed of my transformation.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe that's part of it for me is like the embarrassment and be like, I'm turning into a monster and you're witnessing it.
I'm so ashamed.
Maybe I need Dr. Chill to come do like some therapy here. Dr.
Chill out, man.
But yeah, I don't know. I just, I found it worse being in an airplane. So it raised it for me where I was like, yeah, this is as good as the first one. It's slightly below it, but not far off. Yeah, I thought this episode was great. I'm surprised Batman didn't say, our new Man-Bat is a woman. Just like he did with Catwoman as a cat burglar.
Check out the tits on her, right?
She's got like 50 nipples.
Yeah.
They're all sagging around.
And they're all for me. I'm not Batman just because I saw bats as a kid in the cave. I'm into bats. Sexually. I want to make that clear.
Mama!
Oh, God! Too far.
The Man-Bat's like, did you just assume my gender? It's 2024.
I don't need to see a video replay of my brother saying mama and then smacking his lips ever.
We talked about the animation already, but another bit I noticed is that the rain at the end is the Two-Face Part 2 rain.
Oh, is it?
And it's since Don Yang did Two-Face Part 2 and they filmed that typhoon, as Kevin Altieri has told us on this podcast. That's actual rain from a typhoon across the I think in China. Yeah, that's really cool that the animation studio was like, we're still going to use it for this. Because that rain was sought out by other animation studios and like
we like the Two-Face rain, don't we, folks? It's the best rain. A lot of people say Two-Face rain's the best. It's no good.
Yeah, this whole episode had a real like old horror movie vibe, like Universal monster movie vibe to it, which I really liked.
Like an episode of the Twilight Zone or something. It was cool.
It was like Twilight Zone. That's right. That's exactly what I was trying to think of. Yeah, that one, Bride of Frankenstein, as you said, it's almost called Bride of the Bat. So I liked Kirk waking up from a nightmare and finding the fruit on the carpet. That was some great misdirect there and seeing their little home. But we cut to the scene where the two dock workers are explaining to the police that a giant like bat with wings attacked them, and the police are like, "Sure, we'll get right on that."
A monstrosity
The wingspan had to be 15 feet.
with huge fangs and claws. Look what it did to the fruit.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we'll get right on it.
You guys are in Gotham City. You're the police. Like, do you know who's locked up in Arkham right now? Like,
Yeah, a giant crocodile, a man made of mud clay. He's a big piece of poo. Those are just stories.
yeah. There's also a 6-foot man dressed as a bat who's standing right behind you right now, and you don't even know
That's
it.
not real. Those are just that's just the media telling you these things to scare you into. We don't know their agenda yet, but it's the media. It's the media. It's it's the lefties. They're doing it.
I thought this episode, it was strange that they decided to show off the bat cycle like we've never seen it before as well. Like, it was cool that they were kind of giving it its
spikes
due.
on the back of did you see the spikes on the back wheel?
Yeah, it's for the tread in the snow. That's why it's
Right.
got the spikes. So,
Don't run over anybody, Batman.
oh,
Oh, I forgot about the wheel spikes. Dr. Chill has got some new tricks up his sleeve. It's like his scapegoat for everything.
It's
Anytime he
Chill.
fucks up in Gotham, he's like, classic Dr. Chill, guys. Like, his MO keeps changing, but this guy was killed with batarangs. He's trying to play it on me.
Not Chill.
Yeah, he's Dr. No Chill. That's what he is. Right, guys?
I thought
Guys?
that I thought that showing off the bike was weird that they did that though, because we've seen it like half a dozen times already in so many other episodes, and they were like, "Look, kids, Batman's got a bike." And they were like doing different close-up shots of it. But I have thought about it. I don't know if I've asked you yet what you think of the bat cycle in this show. I
No.
might have, but I think it looks pretty cool.
Love the tire hubs. They're just so sick with like the stripes down them over the front tire.
Yeah,
Mwah. And I loved the toy as a kid as well.
yeah. And I liked that he has this like glass shield that goes over the controls. That's like his,
Yeah.
like
It's
shield.
like a super Art Deco bike. It's very cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. I dig it. I thought Alfred communicating with Batman from the Batcave was very comic book as well, and great to see. We don't get enough of that in this show, where it's like that was
he
some
held it like a
exposition.
cock, didn't he? The microphone, like
yeah, he did.
he like held it at the base. He was like,
"Go on, sir."
yeah. All right, hang on, let me speak. You have to do this to make it so you speak. Hello, sir.
Alfred, get the microphone out of your mouth. I can hear your mouth noises.
Hawk Tuah. That's instead of over now, it's Hawk Tuah.
Oh, Alfred's so up to date with all the trends.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
my-
think I look at when you're out? I'm on TikTok, scrolling on the back computer. Hawk Tuah. What? No cap.
Where's the Rizzler?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, a Rizzler is a rolling paper.
No, you got Riz means you're really good with the ladies. Like you got it. You got the stuff.
Oh, is that
going
why
on.
people were calling the Riddler the Rizzler?
Yeah, because he's
Right.
like really good with the ladies, according to us. Yeah.
Back in my day, we used to buy rolling papers called Rizzlers. We used to roll up cigarettes, or funny cigarettes, depending on how you were in the mood for.
When Kirk was trying to mix an antidote, he made such an exaggerated groan as he crossed out his formula. He was like, "Rrrr," as he was scrubbing it all out. And I thought it'd be really funny if he like wasn't even looking for an antidote. He was just trying to mix like the perfect cocktail. He's like, "I'm so close. I've just got the right amount of gin, but I don't know what else it needs. What does it need?"
Batman comes in, he's like, by the way, the missing ingredient is half a measure of Keena Lele. Goodbye. Ah, Keena Lele!
And then Batman pulls out, in this episode, we see again, Batman pulls out another large gadget from a little compartment in his utility belt. Did you
Oh,
see
does
it?
he? I must have missed that.
All right, let's prove it. Give me your hand.
Yeah, he pulls out the antidote gun, and it just comes out of his body again. Like, it comes out of this little pouch, and it's like so
It's like,
clearly.
yeah, I went to India where some guy was doing like some like body weird stuff, and now like I'm actually like 3 inches shorter than I actually am. Because it's like I'm constantly have like this in between, like where like above my dick and below my belly is like this, and I keep stuff in there. Weed,
like a kangaroo.
yeah. It's my little pouch. Robin hops in there from time to time.
Alfred sleeps in there when he's cold.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Alfred.
What are you talking about?
So stupid.
Do you think it triggered Batman when Kirk said that he failed? Wait, because he was like, "Your antidote failed, Batman," and the way Batman looked, like
he was like,
yeah.
afterwards, like an Oppenheimer, where he's like,
but later on, Batman tells Langstrom, because he did the research, my antidote did work, and I bet he took great pleasure in that, like throwing it back in his face.
actually. I tested it. So,
who said I failed again? Someone said I
the
failed.
scientist now.
Man Bat, more like man chat, because you're shit at this.
Oh, gotcha big time. It wasn't very good, Alfred. No, sir, it wasn't.
Alfred, put the microphone away from your mouth.
Sorry. Hawk Tuah. Right. Done.
That's what Alfred does when he's cleaning the Batmobile. Hawk Tuah, and then he scrubs it in.
That's his like nickname, like Batman to Hawk Tuah. This is Batman to Hawk Tuah. Hawk Tuah, reading you loud and clear, son.
What did you think of that fight between Batman and the Man Bat or Woman Bat in the park? It felt very WWE street fight to me. They were like throwing trash cans around and stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool. And then it leads to the motorcycle chase sequence, which, as you said, was very Ronin. You said Ronin.
I said French Connection.
French Connection. I was thinking Ronin. That was what I was trying to think of. Both of them equally,
What's Ronin?
With Robert De Niro. It has like one of the best car chases ever made in a movie. You ever seen it?
Never heard of it, no.
You've not seen Ronin, really?
Never even heard of it.
It's really good. It's like a heist type movie. Robert De Niro. It came out in I think it was the early 90s, I want to say.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
You should check it out.
I think it's more French Connection. The reason I say French Connection is because it's on that train line, that is above everybody.
You're right. Yeah. 1998, Ronin came out. It's with, Sean Bean's in it as well. I've never seen The French Connection. Now I think about it. Yeah, it's got what's his face? Lex Luthor.
Liberal use of the N-word in that movie. I will warn you about that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Gene Hackman just spitting out
Hawk Tuah.
But it is very, very good. I think I watched it on Disney Plus years ago, so it might still be there. I own it as well, so if you want to watch it that way, I do recommend it because it is a classic.
Yeah, I will. Okay, police. Cool. And I'm sure that's exactly what was influencing the storyboard artists in this episode, because that came out in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Gene Hawk Tuah is in it.
Gene Hawk Tuah, who's still alive. And have you seen him recently?
Oh, yeah, he looks like,
he's a skeleton man.
Yeah, I was going to say Tales of the Crypt. It's scary.
Like a bag of possum bones.
Oh my God.
And his trousers are like Tuah's mustache.
I do love in this episode when Batman got so fed up and he's like, the end of a perfect day. And I was like, that's such a random thing for Batman to say.
Yeah, he's like, in this show especially. Spike, goddammit.
We've seen the spike like 6 times before this, but I just got it in this episode.
The end of a perfect day.
And how did he get home after his bat cycle got trashed? Like, did he just walk back? Because the next scene, he's in the Batcave.
Walks everywhere.
Why? He's in the Batcave.
Alfred probably picked them up. Alfred, I need you to come pick me up. Sir! I'm watching TikTok on the Bat computer. The Hawk Tuah. There's so many good Hawk Tuah memes out right now. I can't miss it. If I'm not here to scroll, it goes away.
Alfred, I pay you, so come and pick me up.
No.
So Batman gets caught sneaking through filing cabinets again, and he finds a file marked abandoned, and Dr. March is like, put that down now. And he tells Batman, like, how much he loves bats, and, like, he's super into bats, dude. Like, his whole idea is crazy, how he was just like, and then we'll have a super race, and we'll have bats here, and everyone will be better. And I'm
The
like,
lizard.
it's the lizard, yeah.
You've recreated the mutagen.
Recreated it. I've refined it. At night, on my own, so the others wouldn't know. I still believe only a creature like a man-bat can survive the next evolutionary cataclysm.
I just thought it turns out to be funny if it wasn't, like, abandoned files for, like, the bat formula, but it was just abandoned novel ideas he was writing with bats in place of the titles of characters and stuff. Frodo Batkins takes the man-bat formula all the way to Mount Doom. Batman's like, go on. I'm interested.
Sounds good. We'll keep reading.
Well, there's this one, Harry Batter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Whoa, that sounds good.
What else you got? He just starts pitching all of his titles. He's like, The Great Batsby? You want to know what happens to that one?
The Great Batsby, huh?
To Kill a Mockingbat? One Flew Over the Cuckoo Bat? It's a bit of a stretch, but...
I've read One Flew Over the Bat's Nest. Is it similar to that one? Very similar stuff. Very similar.
And then finally it's like, Dracula. I didn't have to change much for that one. That's pretty
It's
much...
like, what's that? He's a vampire. A vampire bat. Oh, cool. Vampire. Why did you say that? I'm going to go with Harry Batter and the Prisoner of Azkaban tonight.
Dr. March is like, I haven't finished it yet. It's abandoned.
Oh, I thought you were reading me a bedtime story. Very tired. The bat motorcycle's broke. I had to walk here. Alfred refuses to drive. He's watching TikTok. Hawk Tuah memes. You know.
Dr. March is like, can you fuck off? Like, why are you still here?
I'm a bit lonely. You kind of like fit my vibe. I thought like we could be like,
You're in a
friends.
bat.
You like bats? Yeah. I'm a bat. So you want to like play some Xbox or something? Xbox.
Sorry, I meant X-Bat.
I just got the 360 set up. The 360. Yeah, it's the newest one. That's what Alfred told me. That's the latest one.
Alfred's keeping him from all the old game gods. He's giving
He's got
him
the
hand-me-downs.
Yeah. Yes, finally the new Xbox is out. Whoa, it's been like 20 years, Alfred. I know. Really prepping for a long time.
Check out these graphics, sir.
Finally in HD. Amazing. 720. Wow. Yeah.
He's just scrolling TikTok in the background. Yes, sir.
And you could play Batman on it. I don't want to play that. Why would I want to play that?
That's my life. So we discover how Francine got infected with the mutagen and Dr. March blames himself, but I thought it was her own damn fault for being such a fucking idiot because she's a medical professional, right? And the first thing she does when she cuts her finger on glass that had unknown chemicals in it was put it in her mouth.
Francine never guessed what I'd been doing. She even helped me clean up the mess. All that glass. Oh my lord. Francine, the mutagen. It's in her bloodstream now. Oh.
She's like, oh, suck it. And I know she's like, oh, I'm bleeding. But if you were...
But did she know that it had unknown chemicals on it?
She saw it fall. She saw the beaker fall, and she saw that there was chemicals around it. Like, she saw the puddle. Like, you must have been like...
Yeah, I think they could have come up with a better way of that, right?
Yeah, I thought so too. And especially because Dr. March was like, oh my god, it's inside her. And he like tells the story, and I'm like, how are you just realizing this now, buddy? You know, like where with her sucking on her finger after the chemical was in her bloodstream, did that not connect with you?
He could have done something where like he was hiding it from everybody, so he like labeled it as like rubbing alcohol or something, and then she had to use rubbing alcohol for something, and he's like, I biffed it. Yeah,
that could have been much better. Must have missed that day in medical school. Don't suck blood from an open wound.
Ow! Oh no, I'm a bat.
So what did you think of the whole plane going down sequence towards the end with the Batwing? I thought it was good. I was half expecting Superman to show up and save everyone during that scene as well. It felt a little like Christopher Reeve's Superman, like the plane at night.
Yeah. I like Batman's reaction in the Batplane, like shocked and like, oh my god, people are flying out from that fucking.
Yeah.
And I like that he used like the Batwing just to like stick a little hand out and be like, I'm just gonna shut the door. Yeah. I found that quite sweet in a weird way. Like, I'm just gonna close the door.
Yeah, with my little robot hand.
Okay.
So the Batwing chase sequence was also great through the city. I know the motorcycle chase was kind of like the big one, but I thought that was still really cool, the way the Batwing was flying after the Man-Bat and like swerving through the buildings. I did think, though, what was Batman's plan? Because he was flying directly at the Man-Bat, and if he hit the Man-Bat, she would have just gone splat on his windshield. Like, what was he planning on doing?
No, he's got the little grabby in between, doesn't he?
But he didn't have the grabby. He was just flying at them, and I was like...
He was like, she's not human anymore, technically, so...
The end to a perfect day.
I feel like Batman's always like trying to find an excuse to kill something. He's like, she's not human anymore. So you cannot kill her. Well, it's you. It's Man-Bat. Careful with genders these days, Alfred. Jesus Christ. I'm going to kill her. No, sir.
Sorry, it.
Yeah.
Makes it easier, Alfred.
Makes it easier. The murder.
The murders.
Oh my god, Dr. Chill is Joe Chill!
Oh! I love it. That's awesome.
Big reveal.
So at the end, Francine is killed, and Kirk and her embrace as Batman walks away to the Batwing and leaves him up there to die. And that is the end of the episode. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was as bad as I remember, but we go on now to our top three. Top three right now, in no particular order, are Perchance to Dream, Joker's Favor, and The Laughing Fish. Does this take any of those spots?
No.
I agree. What about ranking out of 10? What would you give this?
Give it a solid 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.5. So
7.75 out of 10.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then fit check, real quick. There's only one outfit that was different than all the rest. Is Kirk rocks this like Wallace and Gromit green sleeveless jumper at one point. Did you see that thing? It looks straight out of Wallace and Gromit.
This is her husband. Langstrom. I have news. Francine's gone. She really left me. Not that I can blame her.
And he's wearing that because he can't be in his lab coat all the time. So that's pretty much it for fit check. All right, buddy. Guess what we're going to watch next week?
Something good?
I mean, this was good. This was better
this was a step in the right direction for sure.
It is the episode Almost Got Him.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Hawk Tuah all over that, son.
I can't wait to watch that episode. So yeah, guys, come back next week where we'll be reviewing that.